This is the brand new Kia PV5 electric van. I have the keys for 24 hours. In that time, my aim is to convert it into a camper and survive in it overnight. Let's see if we can do it. I just want to take a moment to say thank you to our sponsors, Howden's Modified Van Insurance. That's right, A-Plan are now Howden's. They still do exactly the same in that they will insure your van from the time you buy it until you completely convert it into a camper van and beyond. And if you want an exclusive rate on your next policy, please mention Combe Valley Campers and they will sort you out. So why the Kia PV5 then? Well, over the last couple of years, we've done some test drive videos of the latest vans that have come out. 2 years ago we did the Ford Transit Custom. Last January, February we did the brand new Transporter, and the videos did really well and I really enjoyed having the ability to get a van and test drive it. 2026, January, the Kia PV5 has come out and we've been given the keys. And so we're just going to use it as much as possible. Over the next 24 hours, I've got to run some errands. I've got to get some wheels, I've got to get some parts, I've got to do a school run, I've got to go and get my kids from their club. So there's lots of different things I'm going to be using this that you will use it for in your day-to-day life. But what we're also going to do is see what we can get out of this passenger version in terms of a camper van and see how quickly we can turn it into a camper and then stay in it overnight. So the PV5 comes in a passenger version or a cargo version, cargo being the panel van. The reason we're trying to make this one into a camper van is because I feel this is the van that most families might buy moving forward because it's so versatile and it's got 5 seats straight off the bat. 3 full-size seats in the back, and because this version is quite high spec, 2 of the seats are actually heated, which is fantastic. But that's not the selling point for me. The selling point for me is the fact that these seats fold virtually flat. You see there's a bit of a slope on it, but we can overcome that in terms of a bed. In the back, I'll show you the storage space. Take a look at this space. Now I will discuss the cubic meters and the storage facts and figures later on, but straight away you can just see how big this area is. Extra hidden storage compartments as well, and the bed platform we're making, we hope to still utilize all of those storage bins, etc. But with the seats folded flat, between the tailgate and the edge of the seat, it's actually 190 centimeters, so it's a full length bed. And very simply, we need to remove this curtain and simply fold the seats flat. It'll be easier if I go around the other side, but once I fold the seats flat, it's a perfect platform for actually making into a bed. I'm very, very excited, but I think what we'll do, let's go down to Terry, let's see what progress he's making, and we can maybe give this thing a test fit. So this is what we've come up with so far for the bed platform for the back of the Kia. Now, it looks very rudimental. It's very Billy Basic so far, but we don't have a lot of time and we just want to sort of get on with it. So what this is just 4 beams of pine, much like your bed at home. And these have been screwed into, what's this, 12mm ply that's all been cut properly. And in the back of the van, this will lay onto the 2 ledges that I showed you earlier. And then we have an 18mm sheet going on top of this, which will have a piano hinge on this side. And then when the seats are fold flat, we bring that over and create a full length double bed, effectively, in the back of the van. You've just seen the materials come in. Terry's going to hit it now, make the 2 platforms that are required, and then we can give it a test fit. So this is the first prototype, and yes, we know that it's not exactly refined, but we haven't got a lot of time to do this. So there'll be now a sheet of ply that goes on the top of this, and then a hinge, which we'll go out and get in a minute, and then that will hinge over to the seats, and that will make us a camper. Super. So in the cab, we are ready to make our first errand. I have to go and see my friend Ben at Woods Fab. I've pressed the EV button. It says it's ready to start driving. So brake pedal, or put your foot on the brake pedal, press EV, it's ready to start driving. We currently have a range of 230 miles left. There's a little twiddly dial on the side here. Put it into drive, let go of the brake, and we're out of here. So, our estate is on a farm and it's beeping on me. Front sensors apparently, straight away. What's that for? There we go. Maybe because I was going over 5 miles an hour. Let's pull over. It's saying I can't go over 5 miles an hour. Bonnet was open. We were having a look around it earlier and filming some shots. So there you go, bonnet was open. Still drove though. Right, here we go. Back into it. Into drive, and we're out of here. There we go, no beeping. Good, so first location, off to go and see Ben. So straight away, this car is no slouch. This is the 120 version. There is also a 150. And that is the larger battery power. Sorry, another warning's just come up on the dash saying that the battery recharge isn't operating yet because the charge of the battery is so high still, it's not doing the regenerative braking. That's an interesting note. This Kia has a couple of features on it. One being the progressive or the adjustable regenerative braking, and it uses the flappy paddles here on the front wheel. Now you can bring that up or down depending on your driving style. You can have it as an auto, or if you press and hold this paddle here, then you go into what's called the I-pedal. And it's effectively a one pedal driving mode. So it senses your driving style, where you are on the road, etc, etc, and depending on how charged your battery is, will kick in regenerative braking and braking at the same time. So a very interesting method, but because we're not down to 80% charge yet, it won't kick in. But straight away, I'm extremely comfortable in this car. Extremely comfortable. I have huge amounts of visibility, colossal side mirrors, huge side windows, so much so that you can actually see my knees from the outside. I'll show you a shot of that later. That's quite hilarious. But yeah, the windows everywhere is incredible. The visibility is huge. The waistline on this van is very low. So they've thought about the visibility. Even in the A-pillars, there's a bit of extra glass in there, so you actually have increased visibility. It's a very utilitarian cabin. After watching a couple of other YouTube videos and doing a bit of my own research, this vehicle is designed to be usable and user-friendly in that the whole thing's very easy to clean. It's not a very glamorous space to be in, but the sort of price point reflects that. It's not the inside of a Mercedes where there's nice LED glows, etc, etc. There is a huge flat dashboard in front of us, and after speaking with delivery drivers and couriers and just general people who drive commercial vehicles on a day-to-day, it's been made to be wipe clean or very easy to clean. So this big flat dash, although not very inspiring to look at or a very luxurious place to be, it's very practical. I have two screens in front of me. I have a smaller heads-up display, all digital, which is showing me all the information I need to know. I know I have 91% battery charge at the moment. I'm in drive. It's got my speed. It's got the speed limit of this road on there. I've got my headlights on. It shows how many Shows I've got a minimum of 126 miles. I'm going to guess that's if I drive it like I'm a Formula 1 driver or a rally driver. But the actual max range, it says, is 292. 292 miles left in the tank. To the left of me, I've got a huge screen, which is Android based. So this computer system to my left, or in the center of the car, is Android based. And then once I press this button here, it goes into Apple Play mode. But if you wanted to use either system, you can when on the move. So it's got all my apps I'd use for Apple. So you've got Spotify and iPlayer and everything else in between uses Apple Maps. Or if you just want it as an Android screen, then you can. And what I've found out, again through the research, is that the reason they've gone with Android rather than a brand specific computer system or operating system is so you can upload different software to it. Let's say the chassis cab version of this van has a refrigeration body on the back. Then you can plug in that software to this this screen or this computer system, and it'll operate that. If you're an Uber driver, you can upload the Uber software to this screen, so you don't have to have different paraphernalia, different phones, different apps, different screens here. You can just plug it into that software, I guess, just through an update. And what I'm hoping is, moving forward, let's say you do convert this into a van, there's lots of different operating systems by campervans. Let's see if I can get around this. There's lots of different operating systems from motorhome and van conversion specialists that will use Android operating systems. So maybe check on your secondary battery, maybe control your heater from it. So the fact that that's a universal Android operating system is a pretty cool feature. Super, thank you very much for the wheels, young man.
Thank you very much.
This is Woods, Weldon and Fab. How long have we known each other?
I don't know, nearly 10 years?
Something like that, 7, 8, 10 years, yeah.
Who knows?
And so you've straightened out the wheels for my Beetle.
Yeah.
They are now going to get blasted and painting for another project that's going to come on the channall. So thank you very much, my man.
Cool.
And we'll help you get one of these later down the line.
Great.
You like it? Yes, no? All right, man. Thank you very much.
Cool.
I'll see you later. So what it's actually got on this, in terms of reversing cameras, obviously a standard reverse, but if I go into settings, you've got a wide, a regular, and then a straight down as well, so I can actually see how close I'm getting to that. Go into forward. That's actually a pretty cool camera. Back into reverse. It'll change it, I'm going to guess, as a default to the middle one. But there you go. Very cool. Lots of versatility there. As Ali was filming this, we drove past this line of garages here and someone actually screamed out, "What the heck is that?" There was an expletive in there, but we'll just say heck instead. So yeah, this thing's pretty new on the roads. I know the dealership down at Birchwood Kia FPV, they only have 3 of these, this being one of them. One's on display, that's the cargo, and there's another one on display further up the road. But they've been a fantastic help down there. So if you're local and you fancy one of these, go and hit up the team over at Birchwood Kia in Eastbourne. Next stop, Screwfix to get some hinges for this bed. Super, so we have run our morning errands. Gonna head back for lunch. And then we'll see what the progress is like with the bed platform. So what can I tell you so far about the driving experience? It's a very pleasant place to be. I think I said this on the previous 2 videos also. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a brand new car. So you're gonna you're going to do all right. But a couple of things I like about this, let's say over and above the VW and the Transit, is the fact that it's not bing bonging at me every time I, you know, maybe creep over 30 miles an hour in a 30 zone, or maybe creep over 50 in a 50 zone. What I did notice on my first drive is I was being very observant, looking at all my mirrors, and this little gadget right here, that's actually looking directly into my eyes, and it flashed up when I was looking into this mirror for too long. So if I look at that mirror for too long, it might even ping something up at me. But yeah, it came up with a little notification basically saying keep your eyes on the road. So it's a very, very good thing. I love the fact that I can see so much in this. The windows, as we said before, are huge. Very good observation. Obviously, because it's the passenger vehicle with a window in the back, I can see out the rear view mirror. It's nice and quiet. It's got automatic heating, automatic wipers, automatic lights, which you might have seen as we drove through that tunnel earlier. It's very, very spacious. Being that it's an EV and an automatic, so to speak, you've got a very nice footrest down here on the left. I have an armrest, which I think it's set at one height. Absolutely nothing wrong so far. Like I say, the big thing I like is the fact that it's not bing bonging at me every 2 seconds. Acceleration's quick, handling's absolutely fine, drive straight and true. Just a very, very good car. I look forward to getting into the details with you later in terms of the range and everything else. But what I can tell you straight away is that what I am driving now is regarded as the long wheelbase. I think the passenger vehicle may only come in the long wheelbase, but there is, if you're buying the cargo, there's 4 different variants, 3 or 4 different variants. I know there's a short wheelbase, an L1, there's a long wheelbase, the L2, there's an L2 H2, so that's a long wheelbase with a high top, and I believe that also has the option for a walk through. So those who are doing delivery driving, or you just want to walk through if you're converting it into a camper, there's no central column. So you can actually pass through the front seats. The one we're driving right now is a 5-seater. There is a 6-seater coming up and also a 7-seater. So I'm going to guess that's going to be a 2, 2 and 2, and then a 2, 3, 2. They're coming out later on this year. From what Kia Birchwood told me is that the lead time on these is at a maximum of 12 weeks, I think, at the moment. Let's say you order one with a specific colour, a specific specification. The maximum lead time at the moment is 12 weeks, but there is a huge amount of stock in the UK already, and Hannah, who works down there, told me that somebody ordered one last week and it's turning up in the 2nd week of February. So if you did want to order one of these based off this video, let's say, lead time currently, late January, is not too shabby. Now, as I said before, this is the PV5. From what I understand, there is a PV7 coming out and a PV9, and the PV7 being more transporter size. This is more like a Pro Ace size or an ID Buzz size van, but the P7 will be more transporter sized, and the PV9 will be more sprinter crafter size vehicle, and I'm sure they will be a passenger variant, a crew cab variant, or at least a chassis cab variant as well. So the platform fits. Terry's just taken away one side so we can mock up, and it's something that I thought would happen is that because they've got the curvature of the roof, a flat square panel touches up here. So we're just going to take out a little slither and then we can test if it fits to there. We still might have to raise the bed up. We did some measurements, but we might have to move things. But that's what experiments for, right? Excited about staying in here tonight though. Should be good fun. Well, there you go. Bed platform made. I think what we are going to do is actually cover it in a carpet lining. But for now, let's go and grab the 40 Winks mattress and see how well it fits. So if you've watched the channel before, or you know anything about campervans, or at least converting vans, you may well have heard about 40 Winks. And they make a very similar platform for the Volkswagen Transporter. We feature them, like I say, we feature them on the channel, we have them on display in the showroom. And one of the options is to get this mattress. And we think it's absolutely going to be, well, it's going to be absolutely perfect for this. So, in terms of width, that looks pretty spot on to me. Some bit of a squeeze at the edge, but there you go. That comes right to the edge of this seat. So all I'd need to do is remove those headrests. I now have the UK's first, maybe not the UK's first, but one of the first Kia PV5 campervans with standing area at the back. This is absolutely perfect. I've got a living area, I can put a cool box down here. I've got my 240 volt hookup. Tell you what we'll do, let's just close that tailgate, see how close it gets to the back, and then we'll have a shot in this side. So there we go. I am 6'1", and I have plenty of room in here. That is absolutely brilliant. And then in terms, it's a shame this all doesn't go forward a bit, or the seats don't fold flat, but there is a little platform here, obviously with this accessory cup holder that you can see. These are actually really clever. These are modular with this hook system, so they can go in more than one location on the van. That's great. There's even a footrest, door pockets to keep your stuff in, USB charging points, like I say, 230 volt. All I've got to do now is find some form of cover. I've got an idea for the window covers, so I'll get them out in a minute. But for now, I think that's a good first start. I think what we'll do to finish up with for now, fold the mattress away, flap it back over and see what it looks like see what it looks like with the seats all put up in the right place. Oh yeah, don't know if I showed you this before, but these seats recline as well. So you've got a nice footrest and the seats actually recline all the way back. Added bonus, heated seats. What more do you want? And there you go, as a general day-to-day use vehicle, I still have access to all of my compartments in the bottom. All three of those large compartments. I can still slide items underneath, and I have a load bed up here with the mattress still in place. I think to make it absolutely more versatile for a camper van, maybe have a drawer here with a stove on. But I think what I'm going to do for this evening is probably just put a table out, put my stove on top, plug it into the inverter over there. It's all good, it's all good. What do you think? Unfortunately, that's Ali's time up. It's now up to me to be able to finish the rest of this, pack up this evening, sleep in it for the night, and then we'll catch Ali up in the morning. You're going to come and wake me up?
I will, bright and early.
I've got to find a camping spot, park up in this for the night, do what I need to do, and I will be keeping kind of like a vlog diary for the rest of the day. Catch up with you in a bit. Right, so Terry and I have just adjusted the hinge for the bed platform, and we've just picked up some scrap carpet. This is offcuts, just from a damaged roll. And then we're gonna carpet it all in one colour, trim it around the edges nice so it doesn't scratch any of the inside of the PV5, and chuck it in for the final time. So this is kind of working. They're not a perfect fit, but they're kind of working.
There you go.
So that's me finished for the day, locking up the showroom, locking up the workshop. We've had a fun day today, actually, working on the PV5. It's a good car. So driving home in the Kia. It is just gone 7 o'clock in the evening. Roads are pitch black, and one of the things I'm looking forward to seeing is how good the headlights are, because that's one of the things that I noticed in some of the forum pages that I've seen, is that the headlights aren't very good. Now, we daily drive a VW T6.1 and we have aftermarket Transporter HQ headlights, and they're very, very good. And these equal that. I have absolutely no problems. I've not had full beam on yet, so I don't quite know how that's going to react, but generally the lights on this are excellent. I see no problems with them whatsoever. They're certainly better than my old 20-year-old T5. Another thing, I've not experienced the heat in a fully electric vehicle before. I've set this to 25.5 degrees, and knowing there's no engine to heat up coolant to then go through a heater matrix and come into the vehicle via fans, and you know, like a normal vehicle, I'm very, very impressed. There's lots of different settings on the dash that control the airflow, etc, etc, and there's an auto feature. This so far seems absolutely fine. I'm very much enjoying the heat from my EV. I've got to just put this as a caveat. This is my first time doing a 24-hour test with an EV. I'm not used to them, I don't own them, so if any of this sounds dull to you, do let me know. But yeah, I'm just really excited by this prospect, to the point where I'm considering buying one. Or not buying one per se, but at least leasing one, or taking ownership of one. EVs do not appeal to me at all, never have done. I love the sound of the engine, or I love the sound of an engine. I am a petrol head through and through. I like my old cars, etc, etc. But this is just so convenient. It's so quiet. I'm not having to change gear. I'm barely having to use the brake because of regenerative braking. That's not even really kicked in yet, because I'm still at 81%. Once the car gets below 81%, or 80%, sorry, I will be able to turn on the regenerative braking and see how that behaves. But so far, it's all good. So this is it then. It is around 10:30 at night. Whenever you're camping, prep is key. I think I've prepped enough. Got the bed made, but now it's time to get it all laid out. There's stuff in the back, there's some in the front. You know, it's now time to set up, I think. Let's get on it. So, the lights are off on the stalk, utility mode is on, the heating is on, and the HV is on. So as you can see down here, I've got currently my laptop plugged in to the plug down the bottom, and heat. I can't believe it, I've actually got heat. So I don't know whether I can lock the vehicle, but the fact that it knows people might be camping in here is very, very cool. So for the record, utility mode 62% before I start my evening. So that's going to be heating on, and already it's super hot in here. So I might just turn that down to something like 17, 18, just to keep the edge off.
The next day.
Good morning, everybody. It is 6:20. I believe it is very cold outside. However, we are roasty toasty in here. We've had the heating on in the car all night, and from what I can tell, it is 52%. So 10% of power, 7 hours use on the heater, and the fan at 1 with some lights on and charging my phones. Nice. Okay, I feel very weird right now. because I'm sure my neighbours can see me. But hey ho. So, I have my box of camping gear that we use in our regular campervan. And I'm sorry about the light. So I've got a 3-pin extension lead. And in our van at home, or in our regular campervan, we have an inverter and a lithium battery, which is effectively the same as this. So we have a small travel kettle, which in terms of watts is 1,000 watt. So the inverter inside this van should have no problems with it. Let's see if it works. There we go. So the battery, like I said before, is at 52%. Let's see what boiling a kettle does for it. Can you hear that? Boils. And there you go, 1 cup of coffee. Now, I have an induction hob with me, but I didn't bring my induction pan. Doing really well so far. I do have the Ridge Monkey pan and saucepan set with a kettle, but none of this is induction stuff. I don't have the induction pan. What I do have though, in this box, is a toaster. I came up with the idea of making this a 24-hour challenge, so to speak, whilst leaving the dealership. I thought I wanted to prototype maybe a bed platform. I was like, cool, yeah, let's make a bed platform. Hang on, if this works, why don't I stay in it? Let's see if we can do the night. Let's see if we can do 24 hours. Now, it won't quite be 24 hours. I haven't had to survive in the van, because obviously, busy guy. I've got lots to do in my day. I can't just stay in this van for 24 hours. It would be a cool challenge another day though, to see if I could actually just stay in this van for 24 hours. Let me know down below in the comments if you wanted me to do that. But overall, I'm extremely impressed with this thing. I really like it as a car. I've just had an extremely comfortable sleep. I was warm all night. So if you wanted to buy a campervan, or you wanted to base it off of that, if you wanted to build a habitation pod out of this, it's already got heating, it's already got windows. For maybe less than £100 worth of materials, you can make a bed platform. It's bonkers. It seats 5 very comfortably, has a range of 250 miles. What's not to like? What is not to like? Do you know what? It wasn't £250. It wasn't £100 worth of materials, because obviously we've got this really, really nice Ridge Monkey mattress, and that's some pennies. So let's say the wood platform is around £100 in raw materials. Toast is done. There you go. So I've made a cup of coffee and toast out of my PV5. So there's the toaster. This is the extension lead. And it is plugged in to the inverter in between the front seats. So that's what I've been using. So in terms of power, I don't know if you can see that, but that's still at 52%. I can't zoom in. That is still at 52% with 121 miles. So, just made a cup of coffee and some toast for breakfast. On less than 1% of power. I'll take that. So there you go. I'm going to be packing up, but that was my sleeping arrangements for the day. I had my bed platform with my 40 winks mattress I used a bus box sleeping bag as a pillow because it unfolds and it's all fluffy. My favourite sleeping bag with a cotton liner. Couldn't tell you what brand, hang on. It's too dark to even see. Night Star 250 by Van Gogh. Favourite sleeping bag. Yeah, that was my outdoor gear. That's my computer bag. Right now, I've got to go back in the house and go walk the dog, wake up the kids. We're at one of my favourite spots in my hometown in Bexhill, down a beach. And what can I tell you about the Kia PV5? After spending 24 hours with this van and sleeping in it last night and making breakfast with it, I think I've fallen a little bit in love, to be honest with you. This is almost a drive off the forecourt camper van. And I'm being 100% serious with that. It is long enough to fit me in it and one other. It has 5 seats. It has a 3.5 kilowatt inverter, so I can run my kettle, I can run my toaster, I can run an induction hob. I ran the heating for 7 hours last night and it took 10% of the battery. There's one thing that could be improved, and Kia, if you're watching, they're probably not, but Kia, if you're watching, we need some more lights. It was very dark in here. There's even a recess in the roof here for a light, but there's no extra lights. So I'll have a chat with the dealership this morning about it. Maybe some lights in the tailgate, things like that. But with the drivability, the visibility, the range, the accessories, the versatility of it, the accessories that you can buy for it, everything else. And I'm not being paid for this. This isn't sponsored. I just wanted to drive this thing, and Kia Eastbourne were kind enough to let me borrow it. So first of all, thanks to them. I'm seriously considering buying one, and I don't often say that. I'm not a new car guy, I'm not an EV guy. This could well be my first ever EV purchase. You'll have to watch this space and find out and see if this is going to be our next full-on campervan build. But I think this, in black, with some black wheels, with a front runner roof rack, with maybe a Latitude roof tent and maybe some accessories. Yes, extra bolt-on bits would lower the range and everything else, but I think this is a fantastic thing. Or even if it's just a family car you're looking for. This is enough room in here to fit my kids and one extra, plus Ronnie the dog. It's a fantastic, fantastic car. People might have gripes about the looks. So be it. Yes, it's a little bit noddy. It is effectively a toaster on wheels, but I really, really like it. And I think it'll be something you will consider moving forward. So the Kia PV5 has the Combe Valley Campers stamp of approval right there. I don't know what else to tell you. It's a great thing. I'm really impressed. Certainly the only EV I would consider buying. And there's a lot out there, but this is the only one I'd consider buying because it ticks literally every box I require. Spacious, got all the equipment, and it's a van. And I can turn it into a camper van. So thank you very, very much, all of you, for watching. I'd love to know your thoughts on the PV5. Leave a comment down below. Let me know your thoughts, like I said. And yeah, watch this space because this may well become part of the fleet. If you like this video, please be sure to hit like, hit subscribe, and the notification bell that will inform you of any future videos coming up. Thanks once again to Eastbourne Kia. Thanks to Ali, as ever, for filming and editing all of our videos. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.